This is the Art Beauty Podcast where we tell the real truth about the fake shit. Hi, I'm Amber, and today my fabulous and gorgeous co-host is Miss Margarita Arriagada. She is the founder and CEO of Valdé Lipstick. We're going to be talking about this, or Valdé Beauty. We're going to be talking about this. She has one of the most luxurious and, yes, expensive lipsticks on the market. But wait until you hear the incredible story behind this. I cannot wait to get into it. Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thank you so much. I'm humbled, I'm honored, and I'm very excited to be here.
I'm so excited to have you on the show today. Before we get into it, though, can we discuss this fabulous color you're wearing?
Yeah, I'm really loving this chartreuse, and I'm loving it with this contrast. I'm wearing a shade. One of my shades is called Faith, and it's kind of a coral red.
Yeah.
And, I'm loving both of the, from a fashion perspective, I'm loving those colors. It doesn't matter that it's supposedly not great for my skin tone because I don't care.
I think it pops. It's so funny you called it chartreuse because to me it's like a neon yellow. Yeah. Like that neon yellowy, greeny. Like I have been searching for a purse in that color because to me, coming out of the winter and wearing that bright color is everything. I've got a track jacket in that color. I've got some like I call them like neon yellow, like tank tops, but that shirt is everything.
Thank you so much. And may I comment on yours? Because next to this, and this color, love that fuchsia. I call it fuchsia. I don't know what you call it. And I created a shade just in that in that color as well because I love it so much.
You know what? There is something about putting on fuchsia, or to me, it's like a bright pink.
Yes,
that just makes you feel. I don't know. For me. And I hate to say it makes me feel like a girl or a woman. It does. It just brings so much. It's like so fun and playful and powerful and feminine. And I am, as we're saying this, I'm looking at that armor behind you and it is fierce.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. I had this created for me so that I could look at it. It's my North Star. It's women, as warriors. And I love it.
I want to get into a little bit of the history about this. So as we mentioned at the top of the show, you have created a lipstick that's truly a piece of art. And I want to talk about the story behind it, because I think at first people are probably a little jarred, maybe, right, by the price, coming in at what, $200 for your starter refill, for a refill in the shade of your Well, I'm getting tongue-tied today, for the lipstick shade of your color, but with the Valdé Armor refillable case. And I have to just show people right now. And if you're not watching, I did a Reels on this, unboxing this. First of all, this is the most gorgeous lipstick case ever. So let's talk about what because you had a background in marketing, correct?
In merchandising.
In merchandising.
Chief merchant at Sephora.
Okay, at Sephora, I mean, so a thing or two about beauty. What led you on this journey to create your own? Do you even call it makeup, or is it just a piece of art?
I mean, for me, it's a work of art that personalizes your refillable lipstick experience.
Yeah,
because it's so much more than a lipstick. Right. I mean, I'll start by saying that I never thought that I never had any interest in creating a brand.
Okay.
I thought that my calling in life was, to usher other brands and be a behind the scenes kind of a person. And I still am today because I mentor a lot of emerging brands. But this was a passion. This is a love project to honor my mom. It's an homage to my mom. And it was a very spontaneous decision around 2017 when I was putting together a photo album of my mom commemorating her life. She passed away at the end of 2014. And I just had this reflection on her life, immigrant, woman with her 3 kids in tow, fleeing Lima, Peru, South America in search of a place where an environment where she could thrive being herself.
Right.
And I saw that I saw her overcome so much hardship with so much grace and ebullience. But lipstick was armor to her. And it wasn't just, not that you even put it on with confidence. It's like it was the armor. It was the armor. And at the end of her life, she suffered from dementia, and she did not recognize me, obviously. But every time I took out that lipstick, she would perk up and she would pucker up, her eyelashes would flutter, and she would get ready for application. And she would look in the mirror, not realizing she was seeing herself in the reflection, and she would kiss the mirror because I assumed she saw a beautiful woman. And I just had a profound moment in this time that I thought to myself, of course, we all know that what beauty means to people.
Sure.
And yet at the same time, I felt this profound absence of this narrative in a moment in time of which the beauty industry is very saturated and overly commoditized. And I thought, how is it possible that she could not remember me, but she never forgot how lipstick made her feel? Oh. And it felt like an opportunity to pay homage to her, to women, courageous. I think we're all warriors. I think that we all have potential to, unlimited potential when we realize and embrace who we really are, as she did, is what I witnessed. And I, in fact, had not been there myself. Right. And at the same time, I wanted to pay homage to the beauty industry and say, beauty is worthy of significance.
Yeah.
Beauty is worthy of more.
Yeah.
Even a $10 product is worthy of so much more when you really peel back the layers and understand how much goes into it. And so I think it's just so personal. There's so much emotion in beauty, and I wanted to pay reverence.
First of all, I want to thank you for sharing that beautiful story. I'm sorry for your loss. My grandmother had Alzheimer's, so I am familiar with that. It's just so difficult, the hardships of having somebody who doesn't recognize you. I'm so blessed to have my mother, who I talk about on this podcast all the time, who is my best friend. I'm so lucky to have her in my life. But when you talk about this, so my mother was a Korean War orphan, and was adopted, brought to the United States, and had just an incredible life. But I distinctly remember she had a very low-key, low-maintenance beauty. She never really did creams. And in fact, she was always like, where did you get this from? Where did this love of beauty? Because she was so low maintenance. But the two things she always put on were black eyeliner and red lipstick. And my mother, I just like red lipstick and that black liner were her two signature. It just reminds me of mom. So hearing that story, beauty is something that is so, like you said, it's like whether that was her armor. It's just a wonderful way to think of it, right? It was just, I always remember my mother with that. You would be driving in the car and she'd be putting on it, and she had little red lipsticks everywhere. So that she could put it on last minute and be ready to go. And I love that. So you were inspired to create this line as an homage to your mother. And it was interesting when I was doing a little research on your company. I learned most lipsticks will take 6 months to a year to develop, but the Valdé Armor set took 4 years.
Yeah.
Can you tell us why that is, or what was so labor intensive about this?
Yes. Thank you for asking. First of all, I will share that this comes apart. And so there are these vessels, when you see it just online or on photography, you think that this is the entire case, but the reality is that it's a vessel that goes over your lipstick, and that's what allows you to personalize your lipstick experience. It took me a long time, first of all, because I didn't see anything in the marketplace that I thought lived up to the emotion of wanting to pay homage, right? It was something that felt celebratory, that felt that it had significance and purposeful. And so I didn't know what I wanted. I created the brand without having a product concept. I knew that it was going to be lipstick. And I had this concept as lipstick as armor. So I initially, you know, did a drawing that looked like a super hyper bullet that looked like a spaceship, like a rocket ship. And we went, okay, that would not be good. And so the process, the iteration of first understanding what the design should be took a long time because it was a bottoms up approach. I didn't have a brief.
Right.
And how I ended up with this design is really harnessing the story that we wanted to celebrate the woman and the strength, right? That inner strength that we have, but not at the expense of the vulnerability and the femininity.
Right.
And so it was only when we were iterating a feminine corset, if you will, with this powerful bullet, that we landed on this design, which is inspired by the female torso.
I love that. I mean, it is so feminine and elegant.
And that's why the opening in the center is the shape of a bullet, right? It's the shape of a lipstick.
Yeah.
So that aspect took a long time, and I took my time because I wanted to be right. And then once I did it, I thought, wow, there's nothing that's sculptural in the marketplace. And in order for it to have acceptance, it needed to feel like, yeah, this is, this works. And so we needed to make it ergonomic. It's not that much bigger than a lipstick, so it feels good in the hand when you hold it. And that process took a very long time to figure out what's the shape, what's the mechanism, how do I still have a normal size lipstick? It's just the nuances. And then having this 3D design, there's no 3D design in the marketplace. And so it was sculpted. There's 250 feathers carved in this design.
It reminds me almost of like a Grecian warrior goddess. Exactly. That's what I get. I love this. People who were, when I was younger, used to be obsessed with like the angels. So it's got that beautiful, but it does have power. And I have to tell you, if I did an Instagram reels on this, on the unboxing. So if you want to see the details close up, if you're just listening to this, I highly suggest you go there, because I want to just sort of deter for a moment, or because everything, the craftsmanship in this lipstick, and this is not sponsored. I don't get paid to say this. The reason I wanted to bring you on, everything about this is so elegantly designed. One, you've got a mirror built in right into the top of this, so you can put on your lipstick perfectly no matter where you go. Two, this is a magnetic closure. So how many times have you had a great lipstick and then you've got your beautiful purse and you look inside your purse and it's either first you go to reach for something in your purse and you get lipstick all over your hand, and then you realize it is all over the bottom of your purse. And to me, that is just like
it's fillable.
And it's refillable. So to me right now, we're seeing such a shift in companies create things that are sustainable. This is a refillable. And we were talking a little bit before about the price, and some people might bulk, but I think of this as more of like a luxury gift. And we talk about face creams on here that are $400 or $500 that you're going to use and throw away. This is really meant to be the last lipstick container you ever need. I have a video showing how the refillable goes together. And I also love, you've got a range of, I think, what is it? It's 12 shades and a lip balm, or is it 11 shades and a lip balm?
Shades and a lip balm.
I love that you have a lip balm, because for, everyday gals like me who I bite my lips, which is really disgusting. But so lipstick for me is kind of like special occasion, but lip balm is every day, every single day. I love that you thought about that and made it so that not only can you only need one case, you can have multiple different shades, but the refills also come packaged well enough that you could switch between shades. So you still only need one case. So one investment. And then the refills are very moderately priced, $40 for a refill. So I want to thank you, because right now I'm wearing the shade in Mercy, and it's so gorgeous. It's very pigmented.
Thank you. The formulas are made in Italy, and a very luxurious lab. They have skincare properties, both the colored formula, which is a creamy satin, and the lip balm has a lot of, it has hyaluronic acid. I mean, it's
Mhm.
really, to be able to have something that's super pigmented, that has a lot of skincare properties, and that it feels experiential. When you put this on, right, it feels like it's hugging your lip,
Yeah.
um, and that it's clean, vegan,
Yes.
you know,
All of the good things. You know what else is nice too? This particular color is a matte finish, but if you're somebody who likes that kind of glossy, tacky sort of look, you
yeah,
can get that. You can apply a gloss, but unlike most lipsticks, when I put a gloss over it, it sort of dilutes them. And one
yeah,
of the standout things I thought with this was that if I need that sort of pop for on camera, let's say, or just date night, I want to bump it up a little, maybe going from the office to out. You can add that gloss on top,
yeah.
but it doesn't dilute it.
No, correct, correct. It's an incredible, luxurious formula. And for me, that was baseline.
Right.
You know, that it'd be clean, that it'd be vegan. That's baseline. Is
Yeah.
I think that a direction towards sustainability also has to be ticket to play for the future. It really does.
Sure.
And so I created a concept that you would want to keep. I mean, refillable only makes sense to the extent that you want to keep that original package, right?
Correct. Yes. And this is, I mean,
Otherwise, it doesn't make any sense because people are not recycling. You
right.
know, there's a lot of recycled products in the marketplace, but they're not being recycled. And so
Did, did I read somewhere that there's like 1 billion lipstick containers thrown out a year?
yes, it's the sad truth that I think is what your podcast is all about, you know, really exposing that. But that is the sad truth. And
Yeah.
the other thing that I will say is that even if you were not recycling, even if we did not have a sustainability issue, the reality, the fact is in the beauty industry, just about 60-70% of the cost, perhaps even more, is in the packaging.
Right.
20% is in the goop,
Right.
whether it's a lipstick or whether it's that mascara or whether it's that skin, you know, the potion, or whether it's that fragrance juice.
Right.
20%. So how does that make any sense? We often don't finish the perfume. We often don't finish that lipstick, and we're throwing 70% of the cost away.
You know,
That's a sad.
here's the other thing I love, because I'm just going to put it out there. So many people, I read so many different blogs, and, I'll go on Sephora and read reviews. And I've watched so many companies that have tried to now take their luxury products and make them more sustainable. And one thing that people complain about all the time is packaging. Well, now this packaging feels cheap, and it's like, look, you can't have it both ways. But I love the fact that because it's refillable,
Yeah.
too, it encourages me to use it. So we did a podcast with a woman talking about luxury perfumes. And I think a lot of people, when they get to the end of the perfume, will tend to save it. And she was like, don't do that, because once there's that much air in the bottle, it's actually going to go bad faster. Like use the good perfume, use the good lipstick. But it's funny, when I got this at first, I was like, oh, do I use it? Do I not? And then it was like, wait a minute, it's refillable. Of
That's
course,
right.
use
You
it
want,
every single day, use it everywhere. And it looks so chic. You pull this
if
out.
you're going to a gym or you're going on a hike, then you just take your regular lipstick, right? So this becomes the investment that you will get a lot of play on it,
Right.
because you'll be able to use, we will launch liquid lip. We will launch other products that will work on the same vessel. And then I'll tell you the last benefit for me that was important, because I worked at Sephora. I've always worked on the retail selling floor. I grew up on the retail floor, and I've always had empathy for the customer. And the reality is, as popular as lip products are, they're very hard to navigate when you go shopping for lip products. And the reason is because, either you don't know what you want. You might say, well, you know what? I have this outfit. What would look good with this outfit? Where do I start? And most presentations in stores, including in Sephora, are by brand. And so you go, okay, so how do I find the formula? Maybe I want a creamy satin and I want it in this color. Where do I go? And you have to go shop 20, 30, 40, 50 brands.
Right.
And they're not necessarily merchandise by formula, by color. They're sort of like by color, and then God help you with your formula. It's really a mess. And so this now gives me the ability to scale on formulas and shades. You've got your vessels. Now you can pick the formula, you can pick the shade. And the other important thing is that I always struggle that perhaps I have like brands that have beautiful cases and they didn't have the formulas or shades that I wanted.
Right.
Or there were brands of where I went, oh yeah, I like that formula, but I don't like that packaging. I don't,
Right.
not one that I would want to show off, at a dinner out. And so this really is a personalization concept that hopefully that you get your return on investment.
I mean, I'm telling you, look, we're still months away from the holiday season, but not really. What an elegant gift, especially if you know that woman in your life who needs a little bit, who needs that armor, who needs that, she is that warrior. You want to celebrate her. It is such, it is such a stunning gift. And I love that you gave the suede pouch. It's also a magnetic closer, so you can protect it, but it looks so pretty here. What was like when you first pulled this out, right? Early on in the process to your girlfriends, what was the reaction?
Every reaction, I'll be perfectly honest with you. I'm humbled by the fact, they don't sell like hotcakes. So I'm going to be really, really honest because it's an investment.
Sure.
And it's a thoughtful purchase.
Yeah.
Which is what I wanted it to be. But I have not had one return, and it's barely going into stores. And so the reaction to seeing for everyone is a wow. You get it, and I get reactions like, wow, I feel like I received an award.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what I wanted. I wanted this brand to be a catalyst, that you would honor someone, a woman, and that this would create a deeper connection, right? Because whoever receives this is going to remember you.
Sure. And also, it's one of those things that sometimes we need a reason to make a luxury investment in ourselves, right?
Yes.
And you're right. There was no real luxury lipstick. It's something that you put on, and you might have them in different shades, and no brand that I found, because when I was kind of Googling, like, well, what are the most expensive? There was one that was like $62,000. So, okay, that's a little, we're talking about a different category here, but there was really nothing in that range above like $50, $60, $70 once you start getting into the Tom Fords and whatnot. But even that, it didn't feel any different than your regular lipstick. There was nothing that really felt special. And again, the fact that this is now a refillable product, you've got the option to use gloss. You just mentioned that you're going to come out with some liquids that will go with this. It's really a special thing that you've done here.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It's a labor of love.
Yeah.
It came from a place, as you can see, had I created a brief, it never would have worked. It was an iterative process. That's what took so long.
Yeah.
The manufacturers competitive manufacturers had to collaborate with me.
Right.
Because the vessels were made in one manufacturer, the lipstick in another one, the formula another. And that is very rare in the beauty industry. But people wanted to collaborate because they wanted to see this come to market. I hope that I can inspire other brands to really push the boundaries. I think that, as I said earlier, I think beauty has that significance, that inherent value already, and it's worthy of a unique value, right? It's not necessarily about price. It's that it has so much meaning and purpose.
Well, and also when I started thinking about the price, because I think, look, as a standalone, maybe at first you're like it's a high ticket, but we talk about creams on here, on serums that are multiple hundreds of dollars. Perfume these days is in the $200 range, right? And that is like, you're going to use it. People love the packaging because they love to display it, but then you're just going to throw that away. So I think, again, is it going to be something for everybody? No, but question for you, might we see this in a Sephora?
Well, I didn't create it. I know the irony of it all. I get this question all the time. Why would you create a product that's not in Sephora, having been the former chief merchant, right? And, and the reality is that for people that know me closely as a, former leader,
Right.
I've always been about the future.
Yeah.
And I'm always thinking about where is the puck gonna fall next.
Right.
And I just think there's an opportunity to evolve beyond where the Sephoras of the world are today.
Sure.
I think that there is an opportunity for less is more, for quality, for storytelling, for narrative, and for sustainable. And I don't mean sustainable and recyclable, but I mean products that will last for a very long time, that you will say, this is iconic.
Right.
And so I created it, and I'm planting the seeds, if you will, for a future that I'm hoping is to come.
I mean, really, this is like your Chanel of lipstick, right? I had to explain to my husband once why a Chanel bag was so expensive. And it was not, yes, it's partially in the name, but also the craftsmanship. And I had to take him and I was like, here's a Chanel bag. And let me now just hold up an equally beautiful, but bag that's a tenth of the price, and feel it. Look at it. Really look at the craftsmanship.
Keep it in your hand. It's substantial, right?
It is.
Once you feel this, everything else will feel just so much different.
My Chanel bag, I wear that thing to the grocery store. I've worn it to the amusement park. I take it to the beach. I take it everywhere with me. It has withstood the test of time, right? Yeah. But again, things that are built to last. And I love that you're bringing this idea of sustainability. It's not just about recycling. It's about using something for an extended period of time. Yes. I do, before we go, I want you to talk about this. I cannot speak intelligently to this, but was Valdé one of the first beauty products to be launched in the metaverse?
Yeah, well, we had the first launch party in the metaverse. Yes.
Okay. Oh, got it. Okay.
We have a launch party in the metaverse. Yeah, we created an NFT product.
Okay.
And it was a digital, meaning it was a quartz armor that's tied to an NFT digital art, hence the word phygital. And it was the first. We had a launch party on the metaverse.
What is phygital? Wait, what is phygital? It's
combination of a physical product with a digital artwork.
Thank you. Got it. I was thinking FIG, but PHY, phygital. You know what? When people started telling you that you were going to do this launch party in the NFT, I just keep it real here with me. Were you like, what the heck are you talking about?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Because I understand NFTs kind of, but I'm like, what? So you've launched now your own line of NFTs that, and I like phygital. So you get a physical product, which is the quartz.
Yeah.
Is it also called an armor case?
Yeah, it's a vessel. It's an armor vessel. Yeah. It's completely handmade, hand carved,
right,
and numbered. And so definitely an elevated product. I mean, this is a museum type of a product, and they're quartz. They're beautiful, and it comes with matching beautiful pieces of artwork.
Okay,
digital artwork that are NFTs, and they're in the blockchain.
So I try to understand it, but I don't. But have people already purchased these?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
At the end of January, we've sold quite a few sets.
Okay.
And I think it's the future. I'm very bullish on both NFTs, crypto, and the metaverse space. We're early. We're very, very early. But I'm very bullish. I think it's the new frontier. I think it's the Web3 evolution, and it'll be the new digital assets will be the new social currency, because we will be spending in the millions and millions and hundreds of millions of people. We will be spending time in the metaverse because there's just such an opportunity for imagination and to explore. And for me, for a brand that is a work of art, right, and I say that humbly, but that's what people tell me, that comes from a place of heart, and it comes from a place of imagination, really wanting to push creativity. Metaverse just allows you to dimensionalize the experience in a way that is impossible in the physical realm.
I mean, we have a VR headset So I guess that is right. Like, so when we're in that VR headset, we're essentially in the metaverse, correct? I mean, and yes, it is amazing. One of the things I was able to do, Google Maps, has it so that you can actually explore places wherever they've shot, but you can go back different years. So I was able to look at my childhood home
Oh, wow.
and look at it
Yeah.
throughout different years. And it was mind blowing. So I'm very intrigued by what's to come. I don't necessarily have a handle on it, but that's okay, because I feel like sometimes I can barely get myself together in this reality. So, I'm being kind with myself. But yeah, I'm glad you came on. And I think for anybody who is considering this, like, this is a luxury piece. This is a piece of art. This is not going to be your everyday go for a hike, throw lipstick in the bag. But for people who want that elevation and that luxury, I feel like this is a brand that is certainly making waves, and just stunning. And go check out, I think it's on at Amber Milt. I did a reels of this, and you'll see from the entire unboxing to these features why this is, I think, the ultimate luxury lipstick that you can get out there.
Thank you very much. I'm super humbled and I'm very appreciative. Thank you for appreciating, for recognizing. We just received an award. Just yesterday was announced, just yesterday, from New Beauty on the best sustainable lipstick. And to receive that award in the month, in Earth Month, right, which is the month of April, is very humbling. And so I thank you for the recognition and the reinforcement. Thank you so much. It really is a labor of love. And it is my way to say women have incredible, however you identify as women, have incredible potential if we just really harness our authentic selves.
I love that you said that. You know, I work with New Beauty. So the beauty awards are a big deal. We test over 10,000 products. And so congratulations, because that seal, it carries a heavy, I don't know, a heavy coat of armor. It carries some serious armor. It carries some serious weight to it. Margarita, thank you so much for spending time with us here today. If people want to know more about Valdé, if they're ready to purchase their armor set and shade, where can they go?
www.valdébeauty.com.
Okay.
And then we're on Instagram. We're on the social handles at Valdé Beauty.
Yeah, and in the metaverse too. So, you know, if you're one of those really high-tech people, make sure to check that out. And of course, if you have any questions you want me to pass along to Margarita, if you have questions about the product, because I've tried it, I'm happy to answer them. You can always email me at hello@artbeautypodcast.com. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and right here on YouTube at Art Beauty Podcast. And as always, we will see you next Tuesday. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.